Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 209, titled Raiders of the Lost Art, which premiered Tuesday, January 24th, 2017 on the CW on its new night and new time. So let's get right into it. Huge thing, guys, though, is that spoiler alert. I really hope you watch the episode before you're taking a listen to my video. I'm going to try not to summarize what happened in the episode, which is why I highly suggest you go watch it first. I'm just going to be talking about my things I picked up on, favorites, least favorites, all that stuff. Same format as before. And as well, you know my 3 rules about the videos. If not, they're on the screen above just to cut time short. So with that said, let's start with the 10-minute clock and let's begin with some tidbits or stuff that you should have picked up in this episode. So pretty much the timeline, we are focusing on Los Angeles in 1967. As well as the big episode reminder is the search for the Spear of Destiny, which happens to be this wood stick from the looks of it. The villains of the episode are mainly the Legion of Doom, mainly Malcolm Merlin and Damien Dark, and then at the very end we see Eric Barkthorn in his speedster gear, but that's about it. Breakdown-wise, for storylines in this episode, I've chalked it up to 3 different ones. The first one was, I'm calling it Finding the Spear of Destiny. We also saw a flashback of Rip Hunter's final moments on the Wave Rider 6 months ago, showing him doing all the final things to save the team before he also took the Spear of Destiny with him and kind of abandoned ship, I guess you could say. And we found out why the quote-unquote Phil doesn't believe he's Rip Hunter is because that Rip Hunter actually came into contact with the time drive, which did some actual reworking of his on a molecular level from the looks of it. So that's why Phil believes he's actually Phil. It's not due to time drift or anything like that. Now, second storyline is fixing the George Lucas aberration. So aberration came in the form of the Legion of Doom and the Legends facing off against each other, but that inadvertently scares the crap out of George Lucas, who decides to drop out of film school. But doing that results in him not making his films, which directly affected the futures of Ray and Nathan. We actually see them become different versions of themselves when they don't have their movie inspirations in existence. So Ray, Nathan, and Amaya tried to fix this aberration that was inadvertently caused. So there's that. Third one, though, the third storyline has to deal with fixing Mick's hallucinations of Leonard Snart. He's still seeing his partner. We don't actually see Captain Cold in the episode, but we do hear Heatwave's side to the conversation, which gets it a little crazy at times. But he recruits Professor Stein and trying to help fix him, and it seems like it's just his conscious from the sounds of it, and not due to some hallucination drug, not due to any time master chip manipulations and stuff like that. So that was the third storyline. What was the last moment of this episode? It was actually the Legion of Doom capturing Rip Hunter, who still doesn't remember himself as Rip Hunter. He's still claiming to be Phil. So they actually escape with him, even though the team now has the Spear of Destiny and the original amulet that's serving as a compass. So there's that. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode? I have to say the fact that there are actually apparently more pieces than the piece of wood and the amulet compass that is needed in order to rewrite reality. Which is another thing. In this episode, you find out that the difference between rewriting reality and changing time is that rewriting reality with the Spear of Destiny is more of a permanent change as opposed to the time aberrations, where the team is currently going back in time and changing events and trying to fix time. Those can be changed. So Nathan actually explained the differences to Ray when he actually asked that question. So let's move on, though. Top 3 favorite moments. I really only have 2, mainly because the first one really engulfs the most of why I like the episode, and that reason is because this episode truly shows what an effect movies could have on a person. You don't really think about it when on a minuscule layer, but in the form of how we got to see just how much George Lucas's Star Wars affected Rey, because it inspired him to become an inventor, and then with George Lucas's Indiana Jones inspiring Nathan to become a historian. It really shows that without these 2 points of inspiration for these 2 men, they wouldn't have become the best versions of themselves. They wouldn't have become the inventor that that created the atom suit, or the super serum that created Citizen Steel. So, and it wouldn't have created the historian who really picks up on these historical moments or pinpoints what has changed, what has not, noticing details and stuff like that. So it was astonishing to finally actually see something change in the history that would truly drastically affect the Legends team itself. It was a little weird that it started affecting them immediately, since while they're on the mission, it usually takes a bit of a delay to truly affect their 2016 versions of themselves, like it did with the past, with Professor Stein affecting his past. So it's just finally interesting to see the butterfly effect and how that changes our own members, since usually when they go into the past, it's like further back in the past where it's not directly affecting them, but it kind of affected other people around them, if that makes sense. So there's that. My second favorite moment, though, for the episode was Damien Darhk and Malcolm Merlyn. Just seeing them work together when we know that they've been at odds with each other. And it was just interesting to see their dynamic together, how they approach certain things. And even when it's just the 2 of them, just like the banter, the wit, all that, was very interesting. It was very fun to see, especially the one moment when they got into the elevator together, and then you just hear elevator music, and they're just casually looking at their weapons, recharging, checking if they're all good, and just like the mannerisms between them was just, it was funny. So I found that amusing, and that's why it's my favorite. But let's move on. Top 3 peeved moments. I only have the one peeve, and it was the fact that Gideon didn't know anything about the Spear of Destiny, while Nathan knew about the legend behind the Spear of Destiny. I just felt it very odd that Gideon, who is able to tell you outcomes of different timelines and the causes of different aberrations, Gideon's able to tell you all that, and yet there's nowhere in history that she would able to have picked up on anything regarding the Spear of Destiny. I thought that was pretty odd, so that's why I kind of didn't like it, because it just didn't fit with the perceptions that I've been given about the characters and the instruments that they use. But moving on, what will I remember most when I look back on this episode? How much of an impact film can be on a person. That's one. Also the fact that we actually got to see Rip Hunter again, and got to figure out what happened to him in the last 6 months since he's been away from the team. So there's that. Random questions, though, very quickly. I only have the one, and it was the fact that how many more pieces are we talking about with the Spear of Destiny? Or was that just the piece of wood that was recovered? My bad. Hang on. Sorry. Phone call. Anyways, or is the Spear of Destiny only that piece of wood, and there's other devices needed to create the thing that will be able to rewrite reality? I guess that's the big question there. So, with that said, let's go to predictions, guys. So, based off the promo for 210, it looks like the Legends team try to find a way to rescue Rip from the Legion of Doom, who are trying to torture some information out of him regarding the rest of the pieces that are missing. Also, we see Mick suggesting a trade, and it also looks like there's fighting among the Legion of Doom, mainly between Malcolm and Damien Darhk. So there's that. Based off the synopsis, though, for 210, it looks like the Legends are determined to find and rescue Rip, but first must focus on locating the Spear of Destiny. Stein thinks he has the perfect person to help, but knows involving her will be risky. Meanwhile, Malcolm Merlyn and Damien Darhk realize that Thawne is pitting them against each other. So based off of all that, though, originally I thought that Professor Stein might involve someone that we've met before. Instantly, I thought of Lily, and then if that wasn't the case, I was thinking maybe Kendra, aka Hawkgirl. But then the stupid thing was that when they released the extended promo for the episode, they put, even though this mystery person is not featured in the promo itself, they used the thumbnail that showed who that person was. So they used a thumbnail of Lily. So it's just like, why would you do that? That's like giving away like a huge secret without needing to give away a huge plot twist type thing. So that was annoying. But anyways, guys, over the winter break, it was announced that Legends of Tomorrow was renewed for season 3. The announcement came out on January 8th, 2017. So we are going to get a new season. Don't know how many episodes they're going to get, though. If we're going to get a full order, if we're only going to get 16 and 17 like we've been getting for the last 2 years. But we'll just have to wait and see about that, though. But I don't really have any other predictions left to say, though. So with that said, guys, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about that and what you picked up on it. Also, if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that stuff related to the show. Link for that is down below. It's also attached to my WordPress account, which you can follow me there as well. But everything I post online is connected to all my profiles. So there is that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. And that is the clock, guys. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Bye for now.